welcome back. We've been able to connect with Kayode Omoshebi, who is an energy analyst with ARM Securities, as we take a look at one of the issues that has been generating conversations online and offline. A few days ago, a couple of hours ago actually, it was just yesterday, the Group Managing Director of the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, Dr. Mekanti Baru, announced that the federal government will cease to fund joint venture calls estimated at $9 billion yearly, and this is with effect from January 1, 2017. So Kayode joins me now as we take a look at how the industry is digesting this piece of information. Good morning to you, Kayode.
Good morning.
It's great to have you join me on the program. So talk to us. You've been, listening to conversations of people since that announcement was made by Dr. Mekanti Baru. What are they saying? What's their reaction like?
Well, it's quite positive for the sector and also for the government because in terms of funding and in terms of remittance to the FAC. For revenue perspective and also in terms of investment in the sector. Because what you see is that a lot of IOCs are not ready to actually put in a lot of money to invest in that sector, and that's because of the JV agreement that the government doesn't really have enough funds to put into that into the investment plans for especially the gas. If you put in perspective, Tuesday the NNPC released their September 16 financials. And then when you look at it from October to September, they made about $3 billion sales from crude oil and gas. And 2.9 billion out of that actually went into JV funding. So even the government is left with around $72 million that actually was remitted to FAC. And that's actually the funding issue for the government. And so this actually is quite positive because what it means now is that the asset management company who's going to be managing the JV agreement will source for his own funds and actually make his money back from the investments. And so it actually helps the government because one, you have the PSC, and this PSC sales actually is being removed from the JV funding. So what happens is you have the PSC that is on its own, so the government can actually make most of its royalty and tax oil from that, and actually make from also the JV agreement. If you actually get out of all the funding issues, so I think it's positive, and the oil sector, the industry itself, actually seen as a welcome development and waiting for this thing to keep up.
Well, you see, we actually hear, kind of a different agreement to that. Some say that it's not in their best interest because it kind of puts them out in the cold. Now, so for industry players who've actually gone into this JV agreement with the federal government, they feel that they're coming out on the short end of the stick. Do you agree?
Well, I don't see that because. For them, because it's quite, you have a guarantee because if you have the government in it, and that's because JV funding is the first line charge after the total sales of crude oil. But it's still quite important to know about long-term funding and also investments. Because the truth is that the government can't continue to invest in this. We have funding challenges, we have revenue challenges in the country now. And if you want to actually grow the oil sector, especially the gas, in a lot of sources have put gas investment around $50 to $60 billion. So the truth is that if you want to actually grow that investment, you need more funds. And then both parties have to actually fund it. And if the government cannot even fund it, then we can actually see that growth or that investment in that sector. So I think it's quite positive. It depends on how you look at it from. In terms of the guarantee, the government can still come in to play that role and guarantee those funds that are going to come into those investments. But if you look at it on the long run, and actually now, it's very positive for them. And it's also positive for the government too, because in terms of funding, and also in terms of the tax oil and also royalty government. So I think, give and take, it's quite positive on all perspectives. And then you see how the PSC, that it doesn't actually come into this deal because the PSC agreement is more focused on the offshore and the deep water assets. And those ones actually don't come into JV, and those ones are still fine. So the IOCs and what I found out from the IOCs and most of the gas companies, they see that as a positive development.
All right. Thank you so much, Kayode, for your time this morning and, of course, for sharing your perspectives with us on that particular issue.